Hello and welcome to Around the Lens, episode 128. I am your host, David J. Murphy. Around the Lens is a live weekly visual journalism show talking all about the world of visual journalism. I've got my co-host here, Ron Hamilton. Ron, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hawaii, where I'm sitting comfortably and enjoying the show along with you folks.
All right, that sounds good. Not having to worry about any of that lava, right?
No lava here.
Is it still like oozing lava, or is that done? Is that because it's not in the news, so I don't pay attention.
No, the lava is still here in Hawaii, and we have daily reports here in the newspaper, but it's not affecting us. So much like you, we don't really worry about it.
There you go. All right, great. Well, we got a great show for you tonight. We have one awesome guest, a friend of mine. Known him for almost 7 years, a little over 7 years now, and is a good friend of mine named Canaan Barger. Canaan, please tell the audience about yourself.
Hey, I'm Canaan Barger. As far as video goes, my buddy and I, since we were kids, used to get the old over-the-shoulder VHS tape cameras and going out making ridiculous videos of making fight scenes and stuff that's terrible to watch now, of course. And that just evolved over the years into liking videos. I remember back when we made our video for our school class back in the day and going around town filming. The more I did that stuff, the more interested I got. My wife got into photography about 6 years ago or so, and then that got me even more interested. And I started just making some parody videos, really playing around, learning how to use a camera. And then I've always liked watching movies, so that got me, making my own got me even more interested in filming stuff. And so I wanted to try to make some money with it as well, and started offering to film people's weddings for free and then for cheap, and then slowly bumping that price up as the stuff got better. And I pretty much learned all the video stuff I know, one from experience over the years, but also from YouTube. And I had my own YouTube channel where I posted stuff just for fun, but then I got the idea of, I learned everything from YouTube, but I never really found one place that takes you from not knowing anything to being able to make money with your camera. So I figured I'd start doing that and kick that off a few months ago, and it's been going well so far. Growth is slow as expected at first, but starting to gain a little momentum, and I really enjoy doing it, just making tutorial videos and making videos for people. I constantly now just have so many project files on my computer I'm working with, and trying to just push it out there more and get known and make good content for people.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute, but I guess we should tell the audience a little bit about our history so people know how we know each other. Canaan and I went to OTS together. OTS is Officer Training School, which is at Maxwell Air Force Base. It's where all officer trainees go to in the Air Force to learn how to be an officer. We were spent 12 weeks together, just going through the best gosh darn training the Air Force has to offer. They molded us into outstanding officers, and we're both that today. Canaan works for the Air National Guard right now, flying the C-17.
Mm-hmm.
Flying the C-17 out of where again?
Out of Jackson, Mississippi.
Jackson, Mississippi. So actually right up the road from me, because I'm down in Biloxi, Mississippi. So
yep.
We really should see each other, Canaan. At some point we should see each other in person.
We come down to Gulfport a lot, so we can definitely make it happen.
All right. Well, we don't have an excuse. We gotta do the show in person at some point.
I'll do it.
But Canaan, when I was, obviously going through OTS with you, I was the photographer, the filmmaker. I was shooting like the photos and stuff of the class and making the videos. And I never knew you had any interest whatsoever in like filmmaking or photography. And obviously, it sounds like something that you've had a desire to do, but you've kind of grown. Again after OTS, it seems where it's grown. So when I saw you like doing, your photo a day project, which by the way, you're a very good photographer in addition to being a filmmaker.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you've done something I haven't been able to do, which is actually finish the 365 project. So
yeah, it was tough.
Kudos to you. Are you still using the Sony camera?
Yeah, actually, I switched from the A7S II. Well, I didn't switch, but I finally got my wife to replace her 5D Mark III with a Sony camera. and I got her the A7 III and sold her old one. And after playing around with it, found out it's actually an upgrade from mine, even though it's cheaper than mine. And so I've got that in my bag here right now and carry everywhere with me pretty much. So yeah, it's
you're a full Sony family.
Yeah, I'm all about that Sony now.
Can't blame me. I mean, I gave up the 5D Mark II probably about 3.5, 4 years ago now when I switched over to the GH series of cameras from Panasonic, just because I wanted that sweet 4K action. Canon was holding out on me.
Yeah, they still are too.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like, come on, Canon. I get it. You want to protect your cinema camera line, but trust me, just give it. Everybody else is doing it. I mean, you can do 4K with anything nowadays, so it's like, it's not that special. But now, of course, I mean, it's all about mirrorless, and we're not going to go into this because we talk about this like every week. But again,
I believe you have a mirrorless camera, don't you, Dave?
Yeah, some mirrorless camera. I can't.
Weren't you thinking about getting one or something? I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. I think
all
I
mirrorless.
Oh no! I'm dealing with two of them. Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Hey, mirrorless.
I mean, I still have like a Canon T2i on the shelf at home.
I wouldn't brag about that.
I got some film cameras on the shelf. That's about it. But yeah, again, we've known each other for a while, so really, happy to see what you've been able to do, and of course, been following what you've been doing on YouTube. I think you're definitely capitalizing on it. So let's just go ahead and talk about like what you've been doing with YouTube, because that's kind of what I wanted to, kind of touch on. I've been on YouTube since 2006. I initially got on YouTube before it was actually cool, before really people knew about it, because I had filmed a documentary in 2005 about my trip to Israel. It was for the Birthright Israel program, and I filmed it. It was my first time shooting anything, long form, and I edited it. It took me about 6 months to edit this video. I was editing with Sony Vegas, by the way. That was the editor back in the day. And so I had this video, I had this movie, and I was like, I finished with the movie, and I was like, what do I do with this video? I need to find a way to share it. So I started Googling, like, video sharing platforms, and this was in either late 2015 or early 2016, or 2006, I should say, or 2005, 2006, and I found YouTube. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I can share my video on this platform. So I uploaded my video, created an account, and so that's why I have an account that dates back to, I think, 2006. I should bring up the exact date so you know what kind of old school YouTube.
That was before Google bought them. Is that right, Dave?
Yeah. I was on YouTube before Google owned them. So
yeah, that's why my Google account is different from my YouTube account. They have different names on them.
Yeah.
Just for that very reason. Yeah.
So that's why, like, when YouTube did all the monetization and everything like that, I was eligible for that because I was grandfathered in or whatever. I was like, legacy old school or whatever. But I haven't really done anything with my YouTube channel. Like, I upload occasionally to it, but I have 22 subscribers, so I'm not really trying to like make it anything. It's just my personal place to hold videos.
Hang on, let me make that 23 for you, Dave. Hang on.
Oh, you're too good to me. Just so y'all know, audience, behind the scenes here, Ron actually bought one of my shirts for the company for Around the Lens. So thank you, Ron, so much for that.
Dave really needed the $30 or whatever it cost.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you had to pay that much. You should have let me know. I would have told you to not do that. But yeah, I've been on since January 28th, 2006. So again, I've been a part of YouTube before it was cool. But again, I've never really done anything with it. I tried to make Around the Lens, YouTube channel. And upload videos to that, but it's about 100 subscribers or whatever, but it's not really growing, and I'm not really doing a lot with it. But you've been doing YouTube for when would you start getting into YouTube, Canaan?
Oh gosh, I believe I put my first video out on YouTube back in 2013, maybe 2014, early 2014. I think it was February I started uploading. Originally, I still write music, but I used to do a lot back then, and my friend and I just started making some music videos out of them, and so I made a YouTube account and uploaded them, hoping to maybe be discovered and become a big rock star. But obviously nothing came of that. But as I did that, that's one of the things that I got even more interested, because it was the first time I filmed something using a DSLR, and learning how you can get, the depth of field and all these different lenses and focal lengths and all that is what got me more interested. And so, we slowly made some more videos, and then I ended up doing a wedding, and then I made a parody video, and this is over this period of, 4 or 5 years. You know, I might have been uploading a video a year at this point, and then I started doing more weddings, and then with those parodies, they started picking up some. I think it was January of this year. It'd been almost a year since the last parody video I uploaded, and I think I had 50 subscribers on my channel and about 35,000 views or something. And I was on a trip, and I pulled up my YouTube page, and the stats it showed views in the last 48 hours was like 10,000. I was thinking, what? And I went and looked, and that video was going up and started getting subscribers building. And over the last 5 months, it's gone to, I think it's like 400, passed over 400,000 recently.
Yeah.
And the subscriber
almost
counts, is like 1,050, I think.
Yeah.
Now, so over the last 5 months from that one video, literally I made YouTube's, new rules for monetization just from that one video. So that was pretty cool to see. And I plan on uploading a lot more. I haven't done anything with that channel for a while, but since I made this new one back in March, one thing I really like about it is that it's keeping me making video consistently, and so I'm practicing stuff more and trying to find the best way to explain it to people. But I also have plans to kind of link the channels back and forth. Like the buddy that I have that usually shoots weddings with me, I'm going to start using him more so as a behind the scenes guy.
Okay.
So I can kind of be like, this is the wedding, and then link to my other channel. Like, hey, if you want to learn how to shoot weddings, this is how I work things behind the scenes type of deal. And I'm filming this stuff. We're making a video right now called Coming Home. Just a little idea I've had for a while about, coming home from deployment, seeing family, that type of thing. And I've been filming a lot of behind the scenes with that because I've had people asking me already, like, hey, can you, show us your process of making a short film and that type of stuff. So I've got a lot of plans for it in the future, aside from just showing, okay, this is how to use your camera. I want to do behind the scenes. And also I had an idea of further off in the future of having some kind of, maybe monthly people vote for something and pick a scene from a movie and try to recreate it to show, okay, this is how we think they did the light for that. And this is probably the focal lengths they use, the cameras, the angles, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping it'll turn out well. I'm getting a lot of good feedback so far. I'm gone from, I think the first 3 months almost, got my first 100 subscribers. Now in the last 2 weeks, it's gone up to almost 50 more. So slowly picking up speed and just having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's weird how YouTube works because it's like you go from obscurity to rocket ship, based on their algorithm.
Yeah.
And I think, you're starting to see that now. And I'd be very surprised if you don't hit like 1,000 subscribers here in probably the next maybe 2 or 3 months. I know, it's like it's like it takes forever to get to one point, and then it takes like no time to get to the next point.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen Peter McKinnon on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that guy went from nothing to like, oh my gosh, you gotta get friends with Casey Neistat, and then you'll see a bunch of subscribers.
Yeah, he had 1 million in like 9 or 10 months or something like that.
Oh my gosh,
I've been wanting to make my channel for a while, and after watching him, it kind of got me more motivated. I was like, I think I can do this, and started gearing up to do it. But yeah, it's crazy how that stuff can pick up.
Yeah, no, it is. But I think you have to have the right formula. You have to do it right. And one of the things I noticed from the very first time, from the very first episode you uploaded, was you knew what you were doing. Like you had a professional veneer of your, on your show, your thing. You produced it professionally. It came off as high quality, as produced to a degree that I think was important because you can't just, put you talking to a webcam with webcam audio and webcam footage and expect to garner an audience nowadays. You have to come with a level of production quality that comes from, again, experience and using high quality equipment, which you did. And you came off as composed, and also it looks like you knew how to use the system in your advantage. You had good logos, and which, by the way, I do want to say congratulations on getting everyone to stare at your crotch for the logo, because that's a winner right there. So well done. I mean, if you want people to stare at your crotch, they now have to do that because they have to look at
Oh
your logo
yeah.
channel. So
Mhm.
thousands of
Yeah,
people have now looked at your crotch.
I was wanting to get, the camera and the drone more so in there with the silhouette, and it just happened to be there.
No, it's just your crotch, man. It's just your crotch. So sex sells. Let me tell you. But no, again, like I said, I think you came out of
That's
the
funny.
gate right. It's like you're building everything with the right level of production quality. Obviously, you just gotta increase it from there. Obviously
Mhm.
you can make it more better. Depending on the amount of time you have to do that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think you're doing things right, and that's what's getting you the attention because again, you're not coming out and press footing it. I've heard a lot of things people saying it's harder to make an audience on YouTube. It's not that it's harder. It's just that you have to have production quality. It's what you do. You
Yeah,
can't
there's a
just
lot of
kinda,
competition.
yeah, you can't just slop something together and put it on and expect to gain really a following. You have to have good lighting, good sound, good video. People have a higher expectation. But if you can do it right, you will get that audience because there's so many more people glomming
Yeah.
onto YouTube nowadays than there were back in the day when I uploaded my first video. Which, by the way, my first video has over like 20,000 views because it deals with Israel and it was one of the first on there. So. But again, I never monetized it or anything like that. I think it's because I use Queen in it. So, for a long time, actually, there was no audio on that video because Queen, after sort of YouTube got like in trouble and Google got in trouble for all the people putting copyrighted stuff on there, they went through and they killed all the stuff that had copyright. And so I could keep my video on there, just didn't have sound. And eventually they got to the point where now you can like claim the video for your any sort of monetization. So I guess people are making money off my video. I don't know, probably not. But but you went out the gate, you did it right, and I think that's why you're reaping the rewards now. So let me ask you, obviously you talked a little bit about the future of the channel, because that's what I'm saying. It's like, do you see the channel as sort of having a end? Like, do you have like the class or sort of the program? Do you have like an end, or are you just going to keep on going forever, or however you feel want to do it with the new sort of like educational videos? Like, do you have a plan, like what you're going to do each week?
Yeah, so right now I've got like, 50 videos lined up already.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Topics, like individual things I want to go over, and I'm already like adding stuff into it, like, just going over from how to use this to learning about picture profiles and editing and tripods, monopods, gimbals, drones, all that stuff, and there's so many individual things to aside from just showing a video like, this is a tripod, it's how it works, like having videos on, here's some ways to use a tripod that you might not think about, you haven't thought about before. Like before I had a gimbal, I'd take my tripod, stick the camera on it, turn it 90 degrees and use it as a shoulder rig so it would give me somewhat stable-ish footage. But, that's kind of what I'm thinking with those other plans with, having an ongoing type of reviewing, some other movie scene and trying to recreate it and stuff like that. Once, people, they catch on and, do learn from it and want to get more in depth. Because I know with me, a lot of times I can't watch a movie now without thinking like, okay, where did they have, I wonder where they had the cameras for this stuff, or where are the lights for that, and how they do audio and all that. For me, it's, I don't know, it's almost kind of ruined movies a lot of times. But, so for me, I really like to see behind the scenes type stuff. And, so I want to get into a lot of that too.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. And what will happen probably is if you start to develop a large enough following, you'll start to become an influencer, and you'll have people who want you to review things, or you'll want to review stuff, or you'll get stuff for free. Be like, hey, you want to have that new Ronin S for free? You do a review on it. Is that actually something you'd like to do with the channel? Reviews and stuff like that?
I'm not opposed to that either, because I'm going to make a review of this A7 III when I get back home from this trip I'm about to go on, because I'm finishing up a wedding that I shot almost entirely on this, except for my backup cameras I had for during ceremonies. And because this thing has been amazing for me. Just it's the same quality pretty much as the A7S II already. The low light's not as great, but having the touch screen added to it, that made using it on a gimbal was awesome, because I could sit there and do a slider move and just tap, and you can't even tell that anything moved, and it's good. So I am going to do reviews, and probably of a lot of the equipment I have too, just for suggesting, obviously this is what I use, I definitely suggest it. These are reasons why, so on, so on.
Nice. So you can have your education playlist and your review playlist and your movie scene exploration playlist. So you can break it down. So if people just want to watch the educational videos.
Because I want to try to keep a fine line. Like, I like how, like Peter McKinnon, how he does his stuff, but at the same time, it's a lot of, here's some educational stuff, here's a vlog, here's this. Like, I want to keep that channel that I have as an educational one, just teaching stuff, and I got my separate one where I'm going to upload my own stuff. I have some vlogs I played around with when I was with a crew in Korea and in Japan, and I'm working on right now. So, just having that other channel just have all kinds of random-ish videos, and then linking them back and forth too. So if I do have behind the scenes of something, someone can go look at it on that channel, but it's not going to be mixed in with all the videos on the one that's solely for education.
Okay, so you're not going to upload like your reviews to the Camber motion, whatever. You're going to keep that strictly education.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No, I mean there's definitely a reason. Definitely a valid thing. You don't want to dilute, your overall brand, and you don't want to necessarily confuse your audience. But just keep in mind, you can separate it into playlists. I mean, obviously,
it depends on how many people want to see it too.
Yeah.
So.
No, I like the idea. I mean, you could also build out that brand of like, is it Camber? Is it Camber?
It's Camber.
Camber. What's that word? Where's the origin of that word?
So it's actually an interesting story. I was gonna initially, I was kind of trying to think of a name with my friends. We were going over tons of things, and I don't want to use my name. Like a lot of times people use, Canaan Barger videography or whatever. One, because no one can ever get my name right, and even if I spell it out for them, or if they look at my name tag, they still write it down wrong. So
Canaan?
It's actually, because Camber is a real word, so people can, for the most part, have an idea of how to spell it. But with our very first, so we've got 4 kids now. Our very first pregnancy, my wife had a miscarriage, it was pretty early on, but we named that baby Cameron, and so that Camber is actually kind of a mixture. We came up with Cameron Barger, so kind of just, I don't know, something we came up with our first kid, just something to remember him by too. So it's actually where it came from. Unconventional, I guess, but it's that's the backstory for it.
I think that's a beautiful tribute, that you're doing this new channel and kind of having a little bit of him in there. That's nice. Speaking of kids, you got 4. When is the 5th one coming?
Yeah, that's the question, huh? My wife said she's done. She said she's done after every kid, but after the last one, she actually went through all the clothes and started taking them to consignment sales and stuff, so I think she's serious.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know. We've talked about maybe, I don't know, in like 4 years or so, but if we do, it's not going to be anytime soon.
What you got to do is, honey, listen, look at the views I've gotten on YouTube. We have to have another child. These kids just generate views.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, actually, do it for the ad revenue.
I had an idea I never actually ended up doing. It's a little too late now, but I've never been a big fan of the really big bows that baby girls have, and my wife bought some.
My wife doesn't like those either.
I was like, please don't put that on our girls. And I saw a picture of someone's kid, and they had one like comparatively, so my head's a baby head. It was like this big. It looked like a growth.
Yeah.
And I want to make a video like something along the lines of like how it really looks, where I'm walking and find my wife putting on this bow on our kid, be like, babe, really? Come on. She's like, what? It's cute. And then I pull out one that's like equivalent size for her head and make her go out doing her normal routine and just have like, hidden camera type stuff, seeing how people react to it.
Yeah.
But,
that only works if you wear one too, though, can't
Yeah, really. Well, I don't like them, so I don't have to wear them.
Ron, what's your experience with YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you dabble in YouTube?
I put some junk on there, but it's nothing serious, no.
Yeah. How is that doing? Is your junk getting any subscribers?
I wouldn't know. Never checked.
Don't you think people want to watch your junk? You know?
Yeah, I put my hey, we can
Apparently, they watch my junk. It's right in your
I put
face.
that.
Yeah.
We did a story one time about my cheap Chinese action cam. I talked about it on the show,
Yeah.
and then I put a demo video into my unboxing video of my cheap Chinese action cam for $15, and I got 1,500 views or something. I don't know. That's the only thing I put on there. A couple other small stuff, but that was the biggest video. Was the cheap Chinese action cam unboxing.
Nice. You should have kept that
$15
going,
action
man.
cam.
You could. I think we talked about it. You
I know.
could have
Keep
been
doing the. Yeah, we
the
did talk
cheap
about that. Yeah.
Chinese reviewer guy. You know, it went
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I buy enough of it. I should do that. Right. It's editing time. I don't have time to edit things properly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that does take up a lot of time.
Right.
Yeah.
We've shot music videos before, and you shoot hours of video to get a 5-minute music video, and then days of editing to get it down. Yeah, I know better.
Yeah.
Yeah, go through a full day of wedding prep and condense that into 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, editing is work. It is a pain, but it can also be fun. And I mean, obviously, we wouldn't be in filmmaking if it weren't. We didn't get a level of pleasure from the actual edit process. I think really the editing process is only it's as pleasurable as your computer is fast enough to present the data. Because, like, for instance, my first ever movie that I made about Israel, which is on YouTube, you can go to my YouTube channel. And check it out. But it's like it took me 6 months to edit that video, mostly because my computer crashed all the time while I was trying to edit my standard definition video on Vegas on my little laptop that was cheapo laptop. But I've been using a MacBook actually since 2013. I bought a MacBook Pro. Still rocking it. Love Mac. And it was amazing how well Mac handles video, especially high definition video.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Dave, when I look on YouTube for David J. Murphy, the first thing that comes up is your Candid Frame interview. And then I scroll down here, I see David Murphy on a 30-day urine fast. And then I scroll down a little bit more, and I see David Murphy Critical Care Summit. I see a lot of stuff. I don't know which one is you. I don't think you're the 30-day urine fast. That's not you, is it?
Search DJM photo.
Oh, okay.
It's all him. That's all his aliases.
Yeah. Ignore the
urine fast guy is not you. Okay.
Well, what's funny is sometimes I'll go on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and I'll search David J. Murphy or David Murphy because I want to find the other people with the same name as I do, and then I'll go follow them or subscribe to them. And I'll be like, hey, man, congratulations. Good to see another David Murphy making it. Or something like that,
Nice.
So it's always interesting to see. I actually had an idea where I would get 3 other David Murphys, and we would do a podcast together, and we'd call it The David Murphy Show. It would just be about whatever David Murphys think about, But anyways, that's for another day. But, I've tried plenty of things. I tried to do a vlog with my family. And that went nowhere. Mostly because, again, like you said, the editing time. Like, I don't know how Casey Neistat or these people who vlog every day do it. Because it's just the
they don't
time
sleep.
It takes to vlog and edit.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I've seen some of his videos. He talks about he does, editing, up to 4 a.m. or something like that. And then gets up and does it all again.
If I didn't have a job to go to every day, I might be able to do that, but...
Yeah, that's the one on the editing side. That's the one nice thing about flying because I'll film my stuff at home, and then if I'm on the road sitting in a hotel room for a couple of days, I'm just going at it the whole time. So. Or
sometimes you'll do your show from the hotel room, as I've seen.
Yeah, I actually quit doing that just because it was getting a pain. Because I had a ring light I used that I like to use for it, and carrying that thing around everywhere was a hassle, and so I'm trying to focus on filming stuff while I'm on the road so I can get some cool stuff from different places. Like a video I'm working on right now, I got a lot of the shots from Romania. And that way I can, instead of, trying to set all my stuff up in the room, hopefully the air conditioner's not too loud or there's elevators zooming back and forth next to my room.
Yeah.
I can have my main setup that people are used to and then, just have footage from all over the world to use for examples.
Absolutely. So what would you tell, like, if a visual journalist is watching or listening to the show right now and, has an interest in making it or doing something on YouTube, what would you tell them as sort of advice to help them get started?
Man, I would say first off, do film stuff that interests you. Because, like I was playing around making a YouTube channel with my kid back in October and just making Lego videos and stuff. And he enjoys doing it. And I was making a bunch. It was kind of a trial to see how starting a new channel, how to work things before I did mine.
How's that going, by the way? Because, kids opening things is like a million YouTube, million subscriber thing right there,
I found out there's a lot of competition for it.
Yeah, of course.
And
we can't all be that one kid with like 13 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So, makes like more money than anybody else on YouTube.
But he likes doing it. I'm still doing them with him, but less because that is expensive, buying lots of Legos too, because that's not cheap. And,
gotta get the sponsors, yo.
Yeah. Well, it's not that exciting, editing his videos because it's, just like the same thing. And
right.
He likes it, and my kids will watch his videos too. It's funny to see them watching him. And
you should film your kids watching his videos, and then that'll be react.
And some of their local friends, like their parents, tell us that their kids are trying to decorate their rooms to look like his background on his Lego wall. But that definitely makes a big difference with just enjoying what you do. Because I get frustrated editing my own stuff too, because I'll be like, look at my footage and I'll be like, oh, stupid, why did you do that like that? And yelling at myself just about. But it's way more enjoyable when it's something you like. And as far as the YouTube side is concerned, the being consistent is one of the things I hear from just about any video you look on how to get famous on YouTube or how to start a channel. The big thing is consistency. People say, even if you don't have good quality, just keep uploading stuff. But the quality part definitely has something to do with it, because I know if I looked at someone's channel and I was interested in something and it was helpful, but it did look kind of ghetto, I probably would be less likely to subscribe. But liking what you're doing and just making it consistently, I think that's one thing that's helping me, is trying to push myself to put out something new every week.
And have you been able to do that?
I pretty much have. Since I did this wedding a month ago, I've been spending a lot of time editing it, and I'm almost done with it now. So a couple times I did like every other week or 10 days or so in between. But I know at this point, it's not like so many people watching me that they're like, oh, what's the next thing? Oh, you didn't post this week. But I'm trying to stay consistent with that and just, batch maybe like 4 videos in one, over 2 nights. I'll film all the stuff, at least, in my home setup for it, and then I'll get all the supporting stuff later on. That way it's not constantly setting up and taking down, just batch it all, get it done, and then work on that stuff for a month and have a set of videos, and I can, have them scheduled to be released every week, and then work on the next videos while those are sitting there. So getting a backlog is helpful, or a front log. I don't know, it depends on how you look at that. Having some ready to go while you're working on new stuff is definitely helpful.
Well, I know, like, from my experience is, like, the successful YouTubers are the ones that post, like, every day or something like that, or consistently.
Yeah.
They will, like, film, like, a bunch of episodes in a day or, a couple days. And that way, they can go on, these trips, or they can do things.
Yeah.
And they can just pre-schedule out their videos. So maybe, hopefully, you'll get to a point.
Make a season. Do it like a season.
Yeah.
Release it after the fact, right?
Yeah. So, obviously that's limited by how much work you have to do in your free time. And it's like, we can roll into this because, again, it's something I want to talk about. You have 4 kids, and this is the episode of Around the Lens. Was our Father's Day special. And I'm glad that we have us on here show. I'd love to have Zach on here as well, but this is a conversation he can't really, dabble too much in. But essentially, we're all fathers. And this is the episode before our Father's Day special. So let's talk about being fathers. Your wife's in the
Speaking of being a father, right there.
I see a baby.
Saying, oh, come on, I'll say goodnight to her. Let's bring her real quick. Here's my 2-year-old.
Hey,
night, baby.
But she's famous now. Bye.
This is what did it.
Riley.
This made her famous right here.
Being on the
We didn't time that or anything. That just happened.
Sure. Right.
It's that movie magic.
That's right. But let's talk about being a father and doing, visual journalism or anything really visual related. How do we handle that? Ron, you've got obviously a daughter, right? As far as I know. Do you have any more than a daughter? I don't know.
In which country we're talking about here?
All the children you fathered over the course of your life. The ones you know about, the ones you don't know about.
Millions of them. Like, golly.
It's Genghis Khan here.
That's right. How many children do you have, Ron?
I really couldn't put a number on it, Dave. The little girl just left, as a matter of fact. I should have pointed at her when she left the room there.
How many children do you take care of that you're legally responsible for?
We have one little girl in the house with us currently.
How old is she?
That kid's about 19.
Wow. Okay.
I got a ways to go.
Any other kids? That.
There may be one or two more in the closet.
All right. Well, let's talk about how do you balance being a father, fatherhood, parenting, and also doing your job? Is it?
Dave, you have to prioritize your work first, and the kids can just take care of themselves. I found.
Right. Well, of course, a 19-year-old hopefully can take care of themselves.
19, it really doesn't matter,
But what about when they were a baby, growing up, childhood? I mean, how'd you?
That's women's work.
That? Oh my gosh!
This is the episode that gets the negative reviews.
Well, what are you doing for Father's Day? What are you going to do to celebrate Father's Day?
Call my dad.
Your kids doing anything for you? Your wife doing anything for you? Give you
I doubt they'll do it. Maybe leave me the heck alone. I don't know. I find that hard to believe. When you have children, you always have to make time for them. Otherwise, they won't make time for you when you're older.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you keep that in mind.
You want them to take care of you when you're invalid.
Which could be any day now.
You're right. I'd say sooner rather than later.
Nice.
All right. Well, let's talk about balancing. Let's talk about balancing parenthood and trying to do your sort of passion. Obviously, Canaan, you've got 4 kids, all of which are very young, under 10 years old, right?
Yeah, they're 6, 5, 2, and 1.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how you manage. My wife is overwhelmed by a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and it's how do you manage 4 kids and also everything else you're doing? What's the secret?
We were overwhelmed with 2 as well, and then you get a 3rd one, and you're like, why was 2 hard? And then you get a 4th one. Seriously, we thought 3 was hard. I don't know. I try to when I record most of my videos, it's after the kids are in bed. I do it at night, and part of that's so obviously they're not running around yelling. Yeah. Part of that's I can always keep my lighting consistent because it's nighttime and I light my stuff inside. But also have to make sure I don't take too much time away from my wife doing that as well. But that's one thing I do to try to get a lot of my B-roll footage when I'm on the road. So, and editing, like I said, on the road, so I'm not having to do that at home. So I try to really prioritize. Guys might want to go out and do something, but I'll go do stuff sometimes. But every night, people are going out and drinking and doing like that. I'll just be like, I'll see y'all again tomorrow and work on my stuff because I want to have that time when I get home. And a lot of times too, my kids are the ones that help me with stuff. I'll be like, hey, come stand here and do this, and I need to get an example for something, and they like doing that. My son, he actually has a little Canon point and shoot that I got from my wife when we first got married, when we didn't know anything about cameras. I'm like, oh cool, here's the camera, let's take pictures. And he takes that thing around. He has a little mini tripod and makes his own videos. It's pretty hilarious to see what he comes up with, bossing his sister around. And
that kid is going to be the next Martin Scorsese. That's awesome.
Well, it's funny. We were watching when he's like, let's watch the video I made. And he's trying to tell her to do something. He's getting mad and she just walks off and says, I'm not doing your video.
It's welcome to the world of, trying to get people to work for free.
Yeah, well, part of the nice thing too is we homeschool the kids. Really, right now, my son's the only one who's doing it. My daughter's about to start, but I homeschooled growing up, so my dad was a pilot as well. So when he was gone, he was gone. But when he got home, we could do stuff whenever we wanted. I mean, we'd go golfing or bowling or shooting range, just whatever you can think of. Pretty much, we'd go hang out and do stuff. Then when my friends got home from school, I'd go hang out with them, and it's kind of the same thing. Like when I get home from trips, I mean, we go out and do stuff a lot. They're younger, so we go to parks or kids museums and stuff like that. But it's it's not bad. I just I like watching movies and stuff, so I just at nighttime try to focus on doing my stuff then instead of just sitting down and watching Netflix or watching, TV shows and stuff. I just try to make stuff then instead. That's my main thing, is doing most of the editing and stuff when they're sleeping and not taking too much time away from that, or when they're watching their TV shows during the day.
Right.
I'll go work on stuff.
Yeah, I find that, with the exception of this show, which I do, obviously, I have to do relatively, early in the evening when, most of my guests are still awake.
Right.
And my wife, handles the bathing and putting the babies down for the night. For the most part, yeah, I'm in the same boat. Obviously, you really can't do anything until the kids are asleep, not just because of all the reasons you mentioned, but also because, of course, if you do anything that isn't related to the taking care of the kids, the wife will kind of give you a hard time about that. Be like, excuse me, you need to do some fathering here and do some taking care of. Like, for instance, I'm sure you have to do bath time with the babies.
Yeah.
You share that responsibility. So bath time,
Well,
putting
nice
them
thing
down
with
to bed.
Our older ones are able to shower on their own now, and the younger one all
great.
the time's like, I want mommy do it. I want mommy do it.
There you go.
Sorry, babe. She wants you to change her poopy diaper.
Yeah.
I tried.
Well, it's like our older son, Julian, he very much would prefer mom do the bathing and stuff like that. So I take care of the baby who, can't talk back to me. And she does the older boy. So, I find balance in really the weekends is where I can find the most time to do things that I want to do. But even then, it's like she needs to sleep in on the weekends because she wakes up, with the babies in the morning during the week. So, obviously I'm taking care of the kids on the weekend. And so that takes up some time from doing, personal endeavors. But yeah, it's really just finding the time where you can get it, little pockets of time, and of course I have to battle that with my addiction to video games. Trying to find
those
time
can take up
myself.
a lot of time real quick.
Exactly. Are there any games? Do you besides obviously creating the YouTube content and taking care of the kids? Do you have any time for whether it be video games or movies or free time of any kind? What do you do in your free time?
We typically we'll watch. I like movies. That's my favorite thing. A lot of times, even when I'm editing, just because I get bored with nothing going on, I'll go sit on the couch and edit my stuff and just find a movie on TV that's not going to grab my attention, but I look up every so often. But I haven't had a video game console in forever. And for my son's last birthday, we got him one of those Nintendo Classics where they have all the games preloaded.
Nice.
And so, getting him learning Mario and that kind of stuff. So every so often I'll play that with him because I'm still pretty good at it and he's learning how to do it. And it's, I don't know, maybe a couple times a week we'll play that because they like watching shows. They're like, I want to watch a show. We're like, no, you're not watching. You already watched an hour. That's enough. You're good.
Yeah.
Go play.
Yeah.
But, I haven't, aside from playing video games with him, I try not to because I know for me, I'll just start playing and playing.
Yeah.
And just so you know, I don't know if you know this, Canaan, but video games make great babysitters.
They do, yeah.
It's just something.
I remember when I was younger playing for hours on end, and my mom walks in and sees me blowing people up. She's like, "What are you playing?" I'm like, "You bought the game for me."
I wouldn't have bought it if I knew that you were having sex with prostitutes in it.
Yeah, really.
Speaking of parenting and gaming, are you hyper aware of the different sort of ratings of games, and will you be vigilant on what you let your child play? I see so many times these parents I was mentoring a 5th grader one time, and he was talking to me about how he stay up late and play Grand Theft Auto. I'm like, Grand Theft Auto 5? You're playing Grand Theft Auto 5? You're in 5th grade? What? What is going on with these parents? I hope you're cognizant of the ratings and you're not going to let your kids play the bad games.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, obviously he's not at that level yet, but if he does play stuff, I mean, I do like games, so I'll probably end up playing stuff with him. Yeah. And so I probably won't be as in tune, I know, at that point as I was when I played games all the time. But yeah, I definitely, I mean, we're very I mean, just how much things change so quickly, how, you know, every kid has iPhones now, it seems like. Yeah. And, you know, even if they're 9 years old, you know, have phones, and it's like a limitless, the things you can find on there, and predators and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, we're just, I mean, I know stuff, you think back like, oh, you know, what's happened in the world now? Nothing's really changed. It's just, we can find out about anything now. So we hear about all the bad stuff that happens way quicker. And so, I mean, just seeing that stuff all the time just really makes me, you obviously can't protect your, you know, keep them closed off from the world, but definitely trying to keep as close an eye as possible on what kind of stuff they get into.
Well, you can if you're Ron, and you keep them inside the closet, apparently.
Yeah, really?
That's your plan. That's your parenting plan, Ron. Just put them inside the closet until they're 18.
You always know where they are. You know, that's the good thing. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you just give them some food, a little, you know, killer box, you know, or not. Anyways. Yeah, I've got the SNES Classic, and I tried to get my son into Mario with, like, the controllers, but he's so used to, like, Mario Run on the touchscreen phones, because that's his first, like, video game experience is, you know, touchscreen.
Like, so what are these buttons for?
Exactly. He has no
push
concept.
A, then B.
That's right. I just want to tap, and we'll touch the screen. That's how I make Mario go. Yeah, so you have to find that work-life balance for sure. You've been able to do that, obviously, because you're uploading videos on a regular basis, and, you know, your wife is amenable to, and she supports you, right? In terms of your...
Yeah, she knows how much I like videos. And, like, I've told her before, you know, I like flying and all that, but, like, if I could go make movies, I think that would be my... You know, I'd have a lot of fun doing that. I don't know what role I'd want to take in that, like director or cinematographer. Or, I don't know, because I've never worked on a big production, obviously, but I really do enjoy making it. And so she knows how much I like it. And she knows, too, that if I'm good at it and keep making good stuff, you can make a living from it, too. Yeah. So she's definitely supportive. I think if it got to, like, 3 years from now and I was still sitting at 100 subscribers, she'd be like, hey, how about you just give up your dream and let's move on to something else now? So
yeah, I mean, you are. I mean, obviously you got 100 subscribers, 150 subscribers, but you're making decent views on your videos. And I've noticed also that you're taking advantage of Facebook and social media platforms. Are you paying for advertising on social media? Have you done experimented with that at all? The boosting of posts?
Yeah, a little bit. I've been trying. You know, Facebook is. They're funny with how, you know, they don't like YouTube because they want people to watch stuff natively on Facebook. And so if you link a Facebook video to YouTube, it shows up in like a quarter size thumbnail of the video. And people just, everything I've researched, people are less likely to click on something like that unless you have a big picture. I've found some websites where they convert your YouTube link and then makes it show up in Facebook as a big picture. Right. And more people are likely to click on that because it fills up your whole screen as you're scrolling through. But what I found even more is people are more likely to watch a video, obviously, because it's already playing. So that's what I've been experimenting with lately, is taking some clips from my videos, making it that box format so you still have the full, 1080 resolution, but then, have a caption at the top and I have the subtitles at the bottom that I put in myself to get people somewhat interested in it and maybe want to see more and then click on the link and go see the video. So then people, still are getting a little nugget of useful information, but then, if they want to find out more, they can. I've actually had some people from my work who saw that and they're like, I didn't even know that you did that. I'm trying to figure out how to use this DSLR I just got, and I went and checked out your channel and subscribed. So it seems like it is. I'm going to, after I do that, start trying a little more of advertising, because it's crazy with how much stuff people put about themselves on Facebook. You could go in and, for my wife, for example, doing her photography, because she does family photos and baby photos and stuff. She can go in, make a Facebook ad, and target women in between, I don't know, 20 and 35 in Jackson and Flowood, Brandon, the surrounding cities, who have at least one kid and who like photography and who like this stuff. And it's ridiculous how tight in you can advertise to people. So I plan on doing some more. I've been just posting to a bunch of stuff. One of my videos that got a lot of views, I was playing around with Reddit, which is kind of dangerous, I found out, because people can be pretty harsh on there. A little bit. As with any social media, because your face isn't there. I mean, people say stuff that obviously they wouldn't say to your face if they were there. But I had one that just said, I think it was a video about Crop Factor, and just had, like, I think my thumbnail for it. And I forget what I wrote, but then some people started writing it and ended up getting like a few thousand views just from Reddit people going over to it. So you can get blacklisted there, or you could get you could get all of a sudden noticed and get 1,000 people shooting over at once. So it's I'm just trying to find every way I can right now. It's whenever I upload a video, I usually spend like an hour, sometimes 2 hours, just going to as many places I can find, making clips to post other places and get people interested. So
absolutely. Do you have an Instagram?
It can be boring.
Do you have an Instagram page for the channel yet? Yeah, that's important.
I just changed the name of my original one, so I've got kind of my ideas. Like Camber Films is my company that I use for going out and doing wedding videos, or just whatever. That's the name of my main YouTube channel. And then that's why this other one's called Motion, because I don't know, just thinking like motion pictures type of deal is what we came up with that. And so it's kind of like a branch off of it. So Camber Films is my main Instagram page and for Twitter, and I just post stuff from both things on that, so I can kind of draw people to send them to both channels. But that's the one that I did my 365 pictures last year or two as well. So I got some followers based on that, and I kind of an overall business plan for the future in mind. Like if it did pick up, then I might start a separate one in the future, like Camber Photos, and then kind of do the same thing I did here, but on the photography side. And how you get a shout out from one big company, and that can get you a lot of people overnight. So if it is big at that point, be like, hey, check out this new channel, and who knows, you could get a bunch of people all of a sudden to a new one. And the same thing with music production, like Camber Sounds or something like that, because I spent, I don't know, 10 years. I've made a couple CDs just playing around music albums, and spent a lot of time with music production and all that. So I just got a bunch of different areas that I've been learning about over the last couple decades really, and trying to use the different platforms to help each other.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we haven't really touched on, and we don't really have time to touch on, but of course your history with music. You've obviously an accomplished musician. You've created, music. You're famous for obviously your parodies. Was the music first? Did you get into the music first before you got into
pretty much
photo? Yeah,
it was. We made videos a bunch when I was a kid. Like I said, I was always carrying around a camera. We were making skateboard videos and stuff like that. But
of course.
I was trying to use the video to help the music out, and then after making a few music videos with that, I was like, this is really cool, and wanted to try to start making some short films, which is a lot harder because with music videos, sound's pre-recorded, so you just putting clips to it. But then you're making a short film or something, you got to make sure your audio is good. You don't want to have lav mics necessarily shown on everyone, so trying to figure out sound and boom poles and all that good stuff. It's a whole lot more goes into that to make a quality product. But
definitely,
music was first, and then it led into the video, and now I still do. I hardly pick up my guitars anymore, but when I do, I mean, I still do every so often, but it's definitely the video that's pretty much taken over.
Yeah. I was going to say, with the success of the parody videos, you should just do parody videos, and then you'll be known as the parody video guy.
I'm
do
trying
parody
to think of
parenting videos.
Yeah, really.
That's your niche right there.
I've thought of doing some stuff like that, having some kind of joke one, because you know how I've had people, my wife say she's a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And that's harder than my job, because I'm at home with my kids for a day sometimes, so I'll let her go out and do stuff. I'm just like, oh my gosh, why are y'all whining about everything? When I leave, it's no big deal.
No closets in your house there, Canaan?
Yeah, really. Well, I'll be leaving for a week-long trip. I'm like, my son saying, Mom, can I watch a show? And she's like, well, just, wait till Dad leaves. He's about to be gone for a while. He walks to me, Dad, can you leave so I can watch a show? Like,
wow.
I love you, bud. I'll see you in a week.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just, I've played around with some ideas with other parodies, like with, I don't know, like saying like you call that a real job or something like that, because people joke around saying, oh, you just stay at home mom, and showing like, I don't know, coming home and the house is messy and being like, what's so hard about your job? And like, I go out and work all the time, and it shows me sleeping on an airplane while she's trying to wrestle kids, destroying the kitchen, and just things like that. But it's definitely a lot harder I think those parodies, we filmed them, both of them that we did, over about a month of time, because we need to do this little scene, let's set it up, film it today, because I've learned not to push the kids too far.
Right.
You can only give them so much candy and all that kind of stuff. Like for the video, the coming home one I was talking about, for the deployment homecoming type of deal, I had a bag of M&Ms ready for the kids, because we were I had my dad filming, which he's pretty good with the gimbal, and we've worked together a little bit, but when I'm not filming, I want to get more takes, so I've got more stuff to work with. And so, I don't know, we did one like 10 times. And we're like, all right, take a break. Kids start whining. Let's go get M&Ms. Yay. All right, wipe your mouth off so there's not chocolate going everywhere. All right, let's do this again. But, yeah, the parodies, they work really well, especially if you get a song that's pretty new. Like the Justin Timberlake one was more popular than the last one.
Right.
I think, because that song was pretty fresh on people's minds from the movie that came out with it and all that. But, yeah.
Well, I know it's a couple years late, but you should do something with Shake It Off. Just put that out there.
Well, having never known anything about you before today, Canaan, and having you on the show, and having to research you really quickly here, I must say I really, really like that Happy parody you did there.
Oh, yeah.
Really funny one. That's really shows a lot of talent. A lot of talent and effort went into that. That's really incredible.
Appreciate it. Yeah, actually, I like that one a lot more than previous one. But I think you still have me?
Yeah.
You got me? Okay, cool. Lost my sound for a second there. But yeah, I like that one a lot better. It wasn't as popular, I guess, more because the song was older. But we had a lot of fun making that one. It was pretty interesting, learning how to work with kids. And that's when that video was kind of for me to learn how to use my stuff even more. It was the first one I did after getting more in depth of video stuff, production.
Yeah, you gotta strike while that iron's hot, like as soon as that new music, that new sound pops out, you gotta be like, all right, what parody can we make?
Yeah.
Let's close out with our tech talk. We'd like to talk about technology and whatnot that relates to visual journalism. We talked about it a little bit before the show. We both have ordered this. The Ronin S is the latest, greatest piece of equipment from DJI. It's a nifty little gimbal, essentially one-handed gimbal system that allows you to stick the DSLR up to, I think, 3-something kilograms. So definitely be enough for like my GH5 or your Sony A7S or A7 III. And it looks like a very nifty piece of kit. I've been seeing a lot of videos from obviously the YouTubers who get special deals with DJI or get that stuff ahead of time. Peter McKinnon specifically, and Casey, of course.
Yep.
What do you think of this kit? Obviously you use gimbals and stuff for your job here at the wedding stuff, and you say you've moved to this gimbal. What do you like about it, and why have you invested in it?
Well, I started out with the Zion crane, and I love that thing because I originally started filming. I had the DJI Osmo, and I bought the nicer camera that goes with it and all that, but it wasn't that usable because of it. It would have a whining noise, so you couldn't use any audio pretty much from it. And so that's when I started moving the DSLRs more, and then I got this Zion crane, but I could only use it with, I got a small 55 that I use pretty much most of the time. It's my favorite lens. And then I wanted to start being able to use this 24-70 at weddings because it's just a lot easier than having to switch lenses out throughout the day. And I saw that Zion came out with the crane too, which holds about, I think it was like 8 pounds or 7.5 or something. Like, oh, cool, I'm going to get that. So I sold that one. I think it was 3 months ago, bought the new version. And then like 2 weeks later, DJI was like, here's our new gimbal that's coming out. I was like, seriously? I saw that they had, the back motor down so you can actually see your viewfinder, which was one of the big things for me. So, because with the crane, it's pretty good, but you're having to kind of be like this the whole time to see around the side, or having the screen flipped up and trying to look over the top while I'm doing it. It still worked great. It was really good, but just seeing all the features they had from their video, it's just amazing. Just simply that it can hold that much weight, and how you can do like the flashlight mode and spin the camera 360. I was just like, really? I mean, it's pretty incredible. I mean, they come up with some good stuff. Once they get it right, it's definitely really good. But I like, and all the different modes they've got with holding the trigger down, you got a quick whipping type mode. So if you start getting more into action shots, it's not going to lag on your videos. But I think just definitely the thing that sold me for it, if it had no better features than the one I had, is just the motor being down lower so you can completely see your screen. And also I've been sticking my my Rode mic on this thing too. I actually used my gimbal almost my whole wedding this last time. I usually on a monopod most of the time, but I ended up, since this thing fit on it pretty well, I had my Rode mic on it, but then I couldn't really get, the down low shots because it'd be bumping into the mic. But with that, DJI one being down here, you can pretty much get from what it looks like in just about any angle you need, and even with a microphone on it. So I think it'll really be a game changer for ease of use and equipment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I actually bought a mic myself for my camera. It was this one right here from Newer. It's a little shotgun mic. What I like about it is it's powered by the camera. You don't have to have a battery for it.
Right.
And I had another camera mic for the Panasonic, which I've misplaced at the moment. But the Panasonic shotgun mic, that was very well. It did me very good when I was at E3 last year. So yeah, I'm also very intrigued by the Ronin S. I like it. I've got the gimbal systems that DJI has released for the camera phones, and they have worked very well for me. But I definitely want to step up and see if I can't use my professional camera in an actual rig. So I'm looking forward to it. I've got ordered. Hopefully, gets here this month. I don't know. We'll see.
How much was that one? How much was that, Dan? The DJI Ronin, how much was it?
It's $700. It's crazy.
Which it sounds like a lot, but when you compare it to the competition, it's actually cheaper than the competition, which is amazing. It's like how they undersold the competition. The sort of Chinese camera drones is amazing. So,
yeah, well, the one I had was the same. It's $750. Yeah, and the features aren't as good.
Right.
And one of the cool things about the DJI one too is mine. When I switch back and forth between my different lenses on this thing, it has different motor modes. So you have like light, medium, and heavy. So when I have this thing on, I have to switch the motor. And I forgot to at one point, and I'm following the bride and groom, and my camera just went, ooh.
Oh, no.
It's like, crap, dang it. Hold on, guys. Stop for a minute. Thankfully, this is like our time alone during sunset, so it wasn't a big deal.
All right, guys, can you redo that kiss? I do again, all right, really
wedding
quick?
Or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I guess it's got like a smart function on the DJI one, and it just senses the weight and automatically calibrates for it. So that, that's pretty useful too, because I'm not having to go through menus trying to figure this stuff out. And just if they would get a follow focus, I've been using autofocus a lot because it works pretty well with this thing. But a follow focus would be nice with the Sony. And it's funny because they said that the Zion one is only compatible with follow focus with Canon, and it's not compatible with Panasonic or Sony. But then the DJI one said that Panasonic's the only one that's compatible with, which I'm like, I don't get like what's so hard about this, because how come one company says only this camera can be done and this one says only that one? I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Ron, you have a need for gimbals and any of your work that you do?
Yeah, I've got a cell phone one that I use sometimes, but I remember now. That's why I didn't. When I saw the Casey's video on the DJI Ronin S, I thought it was a really nifty thing until I saw the price tag, and I decided I didn't really need one after all.
Just get Eagle Broadcasting to buy one for you.
They probably would, but the reason, what we do, just so you guys know, what we do here is most of the equipment we use is our own, because we can rent. We don't rent it. We can check it out. We have sign it out, but then you have to go to the office, sign it out, and bring it back, and it's a pain in the butt to do the paperwork. Right. It's rather we just use our own stuff all the time for our stories we do. Yeah. Well, so they probably would do that, but I don't want to be involved.
Yeah, it's like we were talking, I think, I guess last week was mentioning how, they work as a staffer in Canada, but they get a stipend or something, like a rental thing that added to their paycheck to cover the fact that, they're using their own equipment. So if you don't get that, Ron, you should fight for that, especially if you're using your own equipment.
That's cool.
So, something to keep in mind.
I'm just happy to have a job.
There you go. Anyway, so the Ronin S looks very intriguing. I look forward to getting it. Maybe we'll have you back on Canon again in the future, and you can talk about your experience with it. Definitely looks like a very interesting piece of tech. Like I said, hopefully get it here in this month. That'd be great, and I will definitely use it and throw videos up on whatever platforms I think are appropriate. But that pretty much comes to the end of our show. Let's give out the shout-outs, of course, for everything that we want people to look at with regard to what we're doing. We'll start with you, Canaan. Where do you want people to go to? Where do you want people to check out?
Yeah, so the main thing I got is my YouTube channel. So that's youtube.com/Camber Motion. And my other channel with the parodies, if you want to check out any of those and have a laugh, is /Camber Films. And just the same with Twitter. It's Twitter Camber Films for Instagram and Twitter. So those are all my stuff right there. And it's trying to put out some good content for you there. So if you're interested in learning how to use your cameras and know nothing about it, I'm basically taking people through the process I learned to go from making, not really knowing anything about what's the aperture, what's, shutter speed. I have no idea how this can affect my video, to being able to get paid thousands of dollars to make wedding videos.
We don't know either, so.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. And that always having the super shallow depth of field doesn't always make your video good.
Right. But, I would say with the learning thing, it's like I said, I've tried to, teach my wife how to learn how to use her DSLR, but I think what you do is you show them what you're talking about, which is what, I think would help her as well. I think she's a visual learner in that regard. And I think showing like what depth of field means, what the what the aperture means and stuff like that, what the shutter speeds do, exposure and everything. I think you've got a really good way of teaching. So hopefully she gloms onto that and starts actually like wanting to shoot like real photography and not just stuff with her cell phone. But anyway, we'll see.
Well, nowadays with the live view anyway, it's pretty much instantaneous learning.
Yeah,
you can see right there what's going on. It's really a benefit from the old days.
And my goal too is to try to keep them as short as possible, because I know people are busy. So I'll try to make one video actually saying, okay, this is actually what this stuff is. This is what it means, and then have a separate video. Okay, if you want to learn, I can use that to, enhance your story, enhance your photos, and these are some ways to do it.
What we need to do is just like take 2 straight weeks and create all the videos for the year and just parcel them out.
Yeah, really.
The year. Then you'd be set.
Yeah, that'd be a lot. I don't think I have enough storage room for that. I've just started using 4K more, and oh my gosh, this last wedding, I've got a 1 terabyte hard drive, but it's eating up quick.
Yeah. I actually upgrade my storage here. I've got a 32 terabyte hard drive, or 32 terabyte 4 bay, I've made. And then I got another 20 terabyte hard drive, which I reduced down to 10 terabytes because I wanted the RAID array. So yeah, you should start investing in the big dog stuff. At this point,
I've got the 1 terabyte in my computer. Then I have a 500 gigabyte solid state that I carry with me for extra stuff, and then I've got a 4 terabyte and an 8 terabyte just disk drives that are slower, but I don't use for editing, just for backing stuff up. But yeah, I'm definitely that's gonna be some of my videos in the future because I need to learn more about all the different options and all these discs and these changing these things out. That's all foreign to me, so that's gonna be new. I'm gonna have to call you up and do some learning on that.
Sure, no problem, buddy. Always. Yeah, I had to learn about multi-bay drives. But what I learned was, and here's a tip for anybody who wants to do this, I bought a RAID array drive, so the shell, and then I went online and I actually bought 4 external 8 terabyte hard drives and took the drives out of the external enclosure and stuck them into the RAID array because it was cheaper to do that than it was to actually buy external drives. I can't vouch for the reliability of said drive, but it's still working. And as of right now, I've got a 32 terabyte drive and a 10 terabyte drive, and that's how I'm archiving everything. But, the one thing I tell anybody is, I've moved from 500 gig drives to 1 terabyte drives, all through the years, and all of my content is still stored on those old drives. So I never deleted any of my drives. I've always upgraded to larger sizes and kept the old drives because that's actually helped out as backup because I did lose, I think, an 8 terabyte drive or something, that had my entire archive on it, and it just and this is good for you or anybody with children is don't let your kids near your hard drives because my son grabbed the box with the hard drive in it and it fell out of the hard drive and hit the cement floor or whatever, and bam, gone, done, all that. So if I had not had that backed up, I would have been out my entire archive because it would have cost $2,000 from a drive recovery service to capture that. And I'm like, thankfully I was able to restore it. But, again.
Yeah, I found out one of the downsides to mirrorless the other day. My 2-year-old, I left my camera. I had the lens off and put the camera cover on, and she got it, took it off, and there's a big old thumbprint on the sensor.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh my gosh, how do I clean this thing?
Oh, geez.
It was terrible.
Well, there you go.
Did you touch this? Yeah.
Oh, no.
I just touched it.
Oh,
Don't do it again.
Jeez. Well, time for the closet. Put him back in the closet. No food for you.
You're going straight there.
Man, did you clean it? Did you get some sensor wipes and stuff?
Yeah, I got it good now, so now I can sell it to someone.
Yeah, there you go. Is this good working condition?
You're the guy. You're the guy I buy all my junk.
There's a thumbprint on every single one of my shots.
Oh yeah, that's custom.
That's normal. Don't mind that. All right, Ron. Anything you want us to turn to check out? No, nothing.
There's a volcano going off in Hawaii.
Yeah.
If I'm not here next week, you'll know why.
That's old news. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Unless there's lava in your house, don't bother. It's all right. We don't care. For me, I'm going to the Electronic Entertainment Expo next week, so I'm going to be reporting from there. I actually did a documentary about my trip last year. I went to there in 2017. If anybody would like to check that out, you can find a documentary I did on my new YouTube channel. I don't have a custom URL for it, I can tell you, unfortunately, because it's brand new. But the channel is called Draw Distance, and it's all about art and gaming. So obviously the first video on there is my documentary, but I'll be uploading interviews and other discussions about specifically the art that goes into making video games, what they are. So if you're interested in stuff like that, go ahead and check out, look it up on YouTube, search for it. It's called Draw Distance. I'll probably put a link to the in the show notes if you can't find it. And so it's a nice 41-minute documentary. So again, if you're interested in video gaming, or if you are an insomniac and are looking for something to put you to sleep, I highly recommend checking it out. Nice. So there you go, Ron.
Thank you, sir.
But anyways, like I said, I'll be gone next week. Hopefully we'll have Ron back next week. Beyond that, though, that is our show for this week. I want to thank you so much, Canaan, for taking time out to be on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Always happy. For Ron Hamilton, I am David J. Murphy. This has been Around the Lens, episode 128, and we are out.